Interesting enough, and I smile when you ask that question because I visit, since I was elected 4 years ago, I've made it a point to visit 3 or 4 homeowners associations a month. And I've done that since I've been elected. Homeowners associations, some are interesting, some are a little more challenging, some are great. You always have 1 or 2 folks who live in that neighborhood that are retired or semi-retired, and they walk the neighborhood and they write all this great stuff up. What I have found is working with them and helping them recognize bigger issues in their neighborhoods, helping them overcome some of the more petty challenges. I've got a great dialogue with them. I've worked very hard to do that. In fact, since I was elected, we've grown our size of registered homeowners associations and associations with the City of Las Vegas and Ward 6. That's been one of my top priorities, and we're continuing to do that. I want to make a comment there about what she said about the state ombudsman and the state and all that. I've got to tell you something. The work gets done here. The work gets done here at the city level when residents help me serve. I don't do this by myself. It takes neighborhoods to pick up the phone and call me and say, this is broke, or this needs fixed, or Steve, you need to be paying attention to this. That's what helps me serve better, so I don't do it by myself. Ward 6 residents understand that. They contact my office. We respond to every phone call and every email, and every time there's an issue, I'm out there looking at it, and I get the city involved. I just want to respectfully disagree with my opponent in regards to the state getting involved. There's so much bureaucracy that we're dealing with, even in the city, and I'm not much of a bureaucrat, and I'm very impatient. If something's broken, let's go fix it and not talk about it.
I have one quick question if I can ask. It seems like you want to ask. This is really important. In the area, I've talked to some teachers, and the teachers obviously, they're getting cuts in their pay, and they're having to pay out of their pocket for their classroom supplies for programs. What are you personally going to do to aid these teachers and aid the students that are not getting the things they need because of budget cuts and things like that? Both of you.
Sure. Interesting enough, we have very little to do with the school district in regards to the way they're governed because those are elected board members.
Well, I'm talking about the teachers itself. There's a lot of teachers that are taking money out of their pockets.
Oh, and I think we both recognize that. That's a huge challenge. And it kind of couples along with Paul's question about raising taxes and that sort of thing. I'm not a big person. I don't want to raise taxes. I fought for taxes the last time I ran. I'm not a big one to raise taxes and put the burden back on the taxpayers. I don't know what the right answers are for our school teachers. I have many friends that are school teachers and administrators that understand that their budgets have been slashed. Those things do need to change at the state level. Those things do need to be recognized by our governor, and he needs to recognize the importance of educating our children. That message needs to be sent to that guy who's sitting in that office, or gal, it may be. In regards to what we can do personally, other than take money out of our pockets and hand it to them. It's certainly a challenge for those school teachers, and my heart goes out to them because I don't know what the right answers are unless this legislature and government makes a difference this next session.
And that's such an obvious problem across the city. I think everybody recognizes that it's a tragedy that school kids are going without and that teachers are having to pay out of their pocket. And again, I would want to look at every different type of community organization, service organization to see, Three Square was working in partnership with Organize America to stuff backpacks for kids. We need to reach out to some of those grassroots organizations that developed during the November elections and see how they can bring things to the table to help the teachers with supplies, to help the kids with services, that kind of thing.
Well, we know how important these races are, and we're going to vote at the end of the night, and I want to make sure that everybody on the panel has a good understanding that all their questions are answered. But Mr. Jackson apparently said that his question has not been answered yet.
Well, Steve, I don't know. I'll redo the question. Basically, what projects for the council, either existing or projects you would like to bring in, have you got, and how would you pay for them? Would you cut another program, or would you raise our taxes? Please don't sidestep the question.
Oh, I won't sidestep the question.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, as I've served in this capacity for 4 years and talking to my colleagues on the council and past members of the city council and even county commissioners, unfortunately, the services that get cut first are the ones for our youth, and that is an absolute tragedy. The leisure services department of the city of Las Vegas would probably get the first hits. Knowing our mayor and my colleagues on the council, we would probably support something a little more broad-based so that all the departments are touched in some way or another. It's unfortunate in one aspect and fortunate in another. We have some very bright people who work for the city of Las Vegas in regards to our finances and have recognized because of tax revenues, we're going to fall short of what we anticipated in our last budget sessions. And we are trying to make those necessary adjustments now. The collective bargaining units have come to the table and have said, hey, what can we do to help? And that's a significant step. We have done a fundamental service review over the past several months to kind of streamline some of the operations in the city of Las Vegas, so we're not having to raise taxes, and so we're not having to make those cuts. But I know it's going to be our children that are going to be affected by this first, and that's what concerns me greatly.
Paul, does that answer your question? Well, I'd like to thank both of you for being here, and good luck to you in your.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.